Welcome into the Fun Astrology Podcast. It's Hump Day, August 17th, and we have a nice clear sky overhead, which I think is just an absolutely beautiful picture, especially in light of what is happening tomorrow. Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thank you all for the messages, the texts, the emails, etc. of the well wishes, and particularly in our Facebook group, as I've been recovering from a little heart episode over the weekend and doing well and getting bounced back just fine. But thank you so much for the love. I really do appreciate it. And we talked yesterday about the two benefic planets, Jupiter and Venus, that are going to be trining at 4 o'clock in the morning. So we have all day today with no other energetic aspects taking place that we can really enjoy this energy. Now, if you're looking at a chart, you're probably observing what almost looks like a grand trine, but not quite. But we do have some nice trine aspects in today's chart, and sextiles as well. So Mercury, still coming off of that trine. Now, it's waxing, it's moving away, but it still is in the orb, so we still have that effect. And that is back to Taurus, the North Node, and Uranus specifically, and the Moon is going to be moving into that. So there's some really nice energy around that Mercury trine back to Taurus about thinking our self-talk, in fact, grounding our self-talk. In fact, doing what I did the other day, getting out into your meditative zone and finding that space of evaluating your karmic path. I had felt since the trip that I had gotten a little bit off course, and a couple of negative things had shown up in my life as a result. And I was off course, just in my thinking. Perfect example of this, Mercury. Where you put your thoughts and attention expands. Choose your thoughts very carefully. Now, another trine that we have is with Pluto, back to Mercury. It's wide, it's 7 degrees today, but Mercury is closing and will close it fast. So we are in the fast applying phase of that aspect, that trine. But Pluto and Capricorn, old structures. This time it's a trine, it's not a negative aspect. So we're bringing those old structures in. Remember that old gospel hymn, "Give me that old-time religion"? Well, sometimes we need that old-time religion. Whatever that religion may be, but we need the grounding of our ancestry. We need the structure of what used to be. I think that's been my biggest sadness in watching the latest events in our world, is that idealistic perspective of what used to be or what could have been or should have been. Seems like it's being just dismantled and taken apart. That's sad. We need that structure. We rely on that structure. So we use this trine to reframe our thinking around the changes that Pluto is inevitably bringing. Things are going to change. We have to change with them. Virgo, Mercury doesn't like to change that much. It likes the organization and the structure. We have to think differently. The chart is taking us there. It's leading us. It's guiding us. Now, here at Pluto is where the apparent, if you were just looking casually, grand trine breaks down, because Pluto is in another trine. It's to Mars in Taurus, but it's too far to be a grand trine. So we just have 3 nice, beautiful trines here is what we end up with. But this is the one where I did check the news app before I recorded this morning. Mars still on the alert of being a trigger, although it seems that since it did leave the pack of the North Node and Uranus in Taurus, has been a little bit more docile. And this aspect is separating, as we've talked about, so the exact trine happened on Sunday. And since Mars is in Taurus, one of the areas that we would look at or look for would be financial, right? And as we look at the markets this week, we had a high yesterday, and then it has started to pull back off of that. And I saw somewhere a guy from Bank of America, who I guess has some kind of a track record, has said to fade the market or start selling if you're shorting, if you're trading from here. So I don't know. Maybe that would have a little bit of an implication of Pluto in retrograde hitting that Mars, maybe reversing the market here, possibly. or maybe just at least a day or two of correction as it is continuing to separate. I don't know. That's a stretch, but throwing it down. Now, there's one other aspect that we need to talk about, and that is a yod, the witch's hat aspect. So what is the base of the witch's hat, the sextile? Pluto. We're not getting far away from Pluto here, are we? Pluto is in a sextile to Neptune. Both of those dogs are in retrograde, and then the top of the witch's hat is the sun. The sun has moved into position of being basically, and it will continue tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow will be the midpoint of the peak of this, but 24 degrees, the sun in Leo. Pluto and Neptune at the base, run the witch's hat up, there's the sun. So you can tell from that sun that we're talking about the collective. We're talking about all of us, talking about you individually, me individually, and us together. We are talking about transformation, Pluto, and it is spiritual, Neptune. Also, we have to factor in the very prominent part of Neptune right now. Is it lies and deceptions, or is the truth coming through? You know, the witch's hat is a description that gives you a visual of what the aspect looks like. The finger of God is the moniker that tells you what it's all about. So this aspect is applying today, peaking tomorrow, as the sun will be right there in the middle of the two at 25 degrees, and then it will start to wane or separate from there. But the other thing this yod could be doing, because Neptune is in Pisces, is that the restructuring that Pluto is bringing could certainly be happening behind the veil. This could be something that we don't hear about for a little while, but it is brewing in the cauldron right now. Things are taking place that will not be public for a while. That's definitely possible, but we'll see. Just keep that one in mind, the yod of August 17th, 18th, and 19th. All right, you guys have a great day. We'll wrap up our week tomorrow. I'm going to take Friday off, so we'll keep it a little short, but we'll set up the weekend in the morning. Have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.